straight from the carton. What's happening, guys? It's your boy Matt from Locked and Loaded. That was awful, that. Anyway, yeah. So I haven't been filming. Haven't filmed for the past 2, 3 or 4 days, however long it's been. That's mainly because my motivation's been lacking. I haven't had motivation. I've had a couple of off days. Been in a huff since about Friday, which was no good to anybody. So been in a bad mood and didn't want to film any vlogs when I was in a bad mood because, well, really I couldn't be arsed, and I didn't want to come across like a dickhead on camera and say something that I didn't mean. But now that that bad mood is kind of passed, I thought it's a good time to reflect on how I was feeling, and point out that nobody's perfect. I know I'm close, but nobody's perfect. We all have times where we're feeling down. We all have times where we're feeling negative, and we should all have times where we're feeling positive. I think the important thing to realise is that it's okay to be down sometimes. It's okay to feel sad. It's okay to feel stressed. It's okay to have, pardon me, it's okay to have anxiety. You're human, and that's what part of makes you human. It makes you, that's what part of being human is to have these negative and positive emotions. And if you were perfect all the time, if you didn't have those negative emotions, then the positive emotions would just feel ordinary. So it's actually the balance of having the negative emotions that make the positive emotions so good. But anyway, yeah, I've been in a bad mood since about Friday and really pulled myself around today. Probably because it's been bank holiday and it's just felt a bit weird being stuck in the house. It's getting to the end of week 3 as well. And when it is technically the first day of week 4 now. So we've been locked away for a few days now. And yeah, my motivation had dipped. So what I did today to kind of bring myself out of that mood was woke up in a bad mood, had my breakfast, I could feel myself just had this internal anger, this internal frustration, which wasn't nice. I didn't feel like a nice person to be around, so I took myself out of the house. And I went for a walk. When I'm walking and I'm in a bad mood, I don't really like to walk where other people are. Try and find a place where I can be, where I can isolate myself. Try and find a place where I can be by myself and really just take myself away from any social situations. So I walked down a country path and found a woodland, and I kind of missioned into the woodland, walked about 200 metres into there. And I sat there for about 20 minutes. Just sat on a log and just chilled out, try to be mindful, which I talked about I think in my previous vlog, try to be very mindful of my situation. Just took in the environment, focused on my breath, observed what was going on around me, and I actually saw deer, pheasant and rabbits. So it's quite amazing what you can see when you're just sitting still in a woodland area, which was pretty nice to see. After about 20 minutes I rang one of my good friends. Had a lot on my mind and I wanted to kind of vent a little bit and talk to somebody, and to be honest, the person that I rang can probably explain how I'm feeling about myself better than I can, which is a really nice thing when someone that can kind of contextualise and explain how you're feeling to you, which is a really nice thing. And I guess I can kind of do the same to him. We kind of just have a very similar mindset, and it was a really good conversation. Felt a lot better after having that conversation and being out in nature, and it's like a right hippie, but just sitting out there for a good over an hour. I just had a place where I can escape from everything, because it is a stressful time for everyone and we all need that escape. So that brings me on to my next point, in terms of motivation and mindset. I think it's, when you look at mindset, in my opinion, there's 2 different areas to cover. There's external factors and there's internal factors. Now, I think most people, when they're stressed, including me, will look to external factors to try and make ourselves feel better. So that could be anything from like buying new things, exercise. I don't know what else could it be. Going for a walk, going in the sauna, anything external, you know, anything external. Reading a book, anything that's kind of going to distract you or give you a release outside of your body. Do you know what I mean? Outside. and they're brilliant. I use a lot of external factors to manage my stress, manage my anxiety. So the main ones for me would be exercise, nutrition, walking, and meditation. I guess could be classes both external and internal. But the thing is, with the external releases, will certainly help you to manage your stress for a period of time. They will definitely help you manage your stress in the moment. For exercise, for example, if it's a really hard workout, then you can't really focus on anything else, because all you can focus on is getting through that workout or try to smash that workout. But more importantly, I think internal factors, and that's something that I've had to look at over the past few months, is internal factors. Is that's changing the way that I think, so challenging my thoughts, changing the way that I think. So for a long time now, I've probably been, with regards to myself, I've been kind of a glass half empty kind of person, and that's in terms of me, not in terms of what I would project on other people. With other people, I can always, my job's to make them feel positive, so that's what I do. But in regards to myself, I think for a long time I've been a glass half empty, which means I'm always like probably think about when I go to a new situation, I probably think, well, what's the worst that can happen? Naturally, that's what my brain does. And the past few months, I've kind of been challenging those thoughts, and I don't always manage to do it successfully, but it's something that I've been working on. So I've been challenging those thoughts and actually try to look at the positives in situations and not being scared to fail. So what I'm trying to do now is be more of what you would call a glass half full kind of person. And the way I do that is, sounds really simple, but it's to challenge negative thoughts when they come into my brain. And I can't always do it. I'm not perfect at it. I've got a lot of work still to do it. But what I try to do is challenge negative thoughts when they come into my brain. So as soon as I have a negative thought that comes in my head, I'll try and challenge that. Literally stop in its tracks and say, no, that won't happen. There's no need to think like that. Think about the benefits. Challenge that thought, take it head on. As soon as it comes into my brain, try and challenge it instantly. And when I do that, I find that it subconsciously sort of changes the way that I think. It actually takes a bit of pressure off you, and starts to implement this strategy internally about not allowing negative thoughts to overcome you. And don't get us wrong, we're all gonna have days where they do that, but it's about managing it, and it's about trying your best and challenge those thoughts. And that is kind of the way that I've learned it to internally deal with stress. Obviously I've got all the external factors, but that's the main internal thing that I use. It's challenging negative thoughts as soon as they come into my brain, so challenging those thoughts. And that's what I did when I was out on this walk. After my conversation, felt refreshed, had the external factors that had influences, made us feel good. And then now on the way back, negative thoughts were still there, but when they did come back into my head, challenged them, took them on, head on, dealt with them in my brain, and brought myself back to that positive way of thinking. Hence what I'm doing my vlog.